Welcome guys to another episode of Hypixel Skyblock. So today we're going to be talking about the insane change that the admins have done into the game today. So if we look over here, there are patch notes for this update, and basically most of it is going to be balancing and trying to fix inflation. So the first big thing that comes up is these are a whole bunch of confirmation things so that you don't accidentally switch pet items, remove souls from a summoning ring or other necromancy stuff, which is honestly really good, but it's not an insane change. If we go a little further, you can use a pocket sack in a sack up to 3 times. I'm not sure what it was before, but now it is 3. And a couple of these other things are slightly less important. You can always pause to read them if you want. And the patch notes will be in the description. Now, this one right here is actually very big because now the Atom Split Katana and all other katanas will be buffed by 50%. Now, this 50% is just a damage bonus. It's not like complete 50% for the entire katana, which is still a really good buff, and I think that is a good change. Now, they did nerf a lot of the garden prices, which is not a bad thing. I think that was good that they changed that. Although it is slightly unfortunate timing because people are still trying to recover from no more teleport pads. Now, right here, this is actually really big stuff. So, they heavily increased the drop rates of recombobulators, which that is a good change. I think that they were a little bit too high, but they also increased the price by 1 million coins, so it won't be a huge difference. They also increased the drop rate of Necron's handles and its scrolls. Now this is just to make it slightly cheaper, although they also buffed the price from the chests, which it will still be insane profit for all of them, although it will somewhat cancel out how much the drop rate has increased, but definitely not all the way. Now they changed the tax system on bin auctions. For expensive items, it's now 2.5%. Anything between 10 and 100 million coins is 2%, and 1% for anything under 10 million. Now this is a good change to try and stop inflation. I'm not sure how much it will actually impact inflation, but we'll see in the future. You can now buy wooden tools at the lumber merchant, which I guess that's fine for completely new players, but you're not going to really use that later. The only instance when you would actually need this, and it could be super useful, is crafting minions, which I think would be super nice. There are now trophy fishing sacks, which there are bronze and silver for your bronze and silver fish. Now, I'm not exactly sure how you get these, and it doesn't tell you, so I guess we'll find out. And they added a bunch of things to the museum, which garden tools, some drills that were missing, and hollow armor and its wand. Now I think this is really good because those things were missing and they should have been there before. Now they did a couple pet fixes, but nothing too crazy. The black cat is the biggest fix, which no longer multiplies by 15%. It's just 15 pet luck and 15 magic find. And you can also use it with the Chimera enchantment, which is really good. Although it is still sort of a nerf for later game players. Now they fixed a lot of things on the garden. Nothing too crazy, it's just weird bugs that shouldn't have been there. They added 3 more Abiphone contacts, and they added the contact trio limit to 12 instead of 10. Alright, so there are a couple big changes in this area, and one of them is that it fixed some issues with Crimson Armor dealing ghost damage. Now this is really big. I'm not sure if they mentioned it somewhere else, but basically you can no longer one-shot tier 4 Void Glooms. That has been patched, and you will have to go back to doing it normally, which is why the katana was buffed earlier. Now, they say they fixed Shadow Fury not activating on Svens, but I kind of feel like they kind of messed this one up a little bit because now you can RCM on Sven bosses. You can now obtain Gusher Trophy Fish, which was super annoying because you couldn't obtain them for the last little while, and they say they improved Crimson Isle performance. Now, I'm not sure how much this actually will impact it. I'm not sure how much they actually improved it because the Crimson Isle has been extremely laggy, but if they did anything to it, I think they can't have messed it up too much, and hopefully it is much better than it was before. Now they go into talking about why they did that, and I'm going to link the patch notes down below if you want to read them yourself. but I'm not going to read through all of that because that would take a while. All in all, I think this is a pretty solid update. Now, a couple of the things like fixing the one-shot void glooms and the garden price changes could be slightly annoying, but all in all of the changes were good for the progression of the game, and I think that all of them will impact the game in a positive way. And that does do it for today's episode. If you did enjoy this episode, make sure to leave a like, and please consider subscribing if you are new around here, and I will see you guys next time.